Edgar Chagwa, Lungu, President of the Republic of Zambia.
The vision of the Patriotic Front for the next 5 years is to make Zambia more industrious, prosperous, peaceful, stable, united, democratic and inclusive society under the motto of One Zambia, One Nation. We are focused on entrenching our pro-poor policies so that we significantly bring down the price of our staple food meal and other essential food commodities. Reducing and eventually eliminating power cuts, achieving stable fuel supply, and assuring our people of affordable school fees and medicines in our hospitals. The August 11, 2016 general elections were held under a new constitution thanks to President Edgar Lungu. After so many costly attempts by previous administrations, the Patriotic Front government was able to fulfill its pledge to deliver a people-driven constitution that reflects the will and aspirations of the Zambian people. To conclude its promise to deliver an expanded Bill of Rights, Patriotic Front under President Lungu called for a referendum to amend Part 3 of the Constitution and Article 79, but this could not be, as opposition politics stood in the way of better rights and the Zambian people. President Lungu's 365 days in office has not been without challenges. As he addressed Parliament, the main opposition members of Parliament walked out in defiance of his electoral legitimacy, although local and international observers, including the Commonwealth, upheld the election as free and fair. Yet, in spite of this and other negative demands, President Lungu remained focused and committed to the promises he made to the Zambian people and to the party's manifesto 2016 to 2021, which aims to consolidate the gains made in the implementation of the 2011 to 2016 manifesto. It has been segmented into the following sections and key priorities: vision, education and development, health services, agriculture, local government and housing development, social protection, persons with disabilities, women in social development and gender.
PF before elections, our campaign was based on the pro-poor policies. In short, the majority of the Zambians are poor. And those are the campaigns that we did. And when we came into power in 2011, under President Michael Sata, we implemented the same policies. And President Edgar Lungu has not departed on the same policies that we undertook in 2011. One of them is the presidential empowerment, which is still going on, to look at how we can alleviate our poverty.
President Lungu's first year in office has prioritized the realization of a healthy nation by, among others, bringing health facilities closer to the people. Zambia has witnessed unprecedented construction, rehabilitation of and upgrading of clinics and hospitals.
The biggest achievement that our ministry has made is actually to put planning at the level that it should be in our governance. That is giving it the importance that planning has. You realize that this world has become globalized and we've become a global village. But then countries are competing against each other. And this competition is in the landscape of planning. And so the president gave that importance to the planning function and lifted the ministry out of the Ministry of Finance, where it was just a department, and made it a ministry that has a coordinating role.
Currently, there is an ongoing upgrade program going on in most health facilities across the country, especially rural areas where hospitals have been built and improved equipment supplied. Most of these rural clinics, including this facility in Chalimbana, which was upgraded to a referral health center, now has a complete maternity section, yet in the past, this facility had only one bed for mothers to deliver.
From the challenges that we used to face, some of the things that we received as a facility, we received delivery beds. We only had one delivery bed, but at the moment we received some delivery beds which are going to help us with the conducting deliveries at the facility. And also we received some drugs which we are supposed to use as a facility, and also we received equipment like the resuscitator and also the incubator. We started receiving these things as from last year. There are a lot of changes that we have noted. One, with the renovation of the facility, it has really changed the face of Chalimbana Rural Center. It never used to look like this, and our delivery, our labor ward was very small, but with the new structure, at least it has been extended. We have more than one bed where we can conduct deliveries. And also, generally, it has even motivated the healthy workers to work in a good environment.
Many people died of various types of cancer needlessly as a result of lack of facilities for diagnosis and treatment. The Cancer Disease Hospital was established with only an outpatient facility. However, President Lungu's government supported the implementation of an upgrade program to the facility, and the institution has since recorded over 17,000 cases of cancer being treated as inpatients. With the Phase 2 cancer disease inpatient upgrade in place, the huge cost of treating patients abroad has resulted in huge saving for government, which can now be used for better health service delivery.
Cancer patients were actually suffering a lot in that they could not access cancer treatment, and anybody who needed to access cancer treatment in the form of radiotherapy had to go outside the country. And you can imagine, obviously, there were loads of patients who needed to go out of the country, and the government could only afford, obviously, to send a few of those number of patients outside the country. And it would cost the government about $10,000 approximately to send each cancer patient out of the country. Fortunately, since the hospital opened, that does not need to happen anymore, and most patients are actually treated within the country.
Giving up hope, I did. When I was just given the diagnosis paper that you had cancer from Kitwe, I had to travel all the way from Kitwe to back home to Luanshya. By that time I was staying in Luanshya. So I just went straight in my bedroom. I spread the papers on my bed and I started crying. As I was crying, my sister came in. She asked me, "Why are you crying?" I couldn't answer her. She just went through the papers. Then she said, "Why are you crying?" I couldn't answer. I was just disturbed until there is my sister in Christ who came in. So she, "Why is this one crying?" Even herself, she also went through the papers. So she was also shocked. So she just called the reverend. So the reverend came in with the wife. So they just told me, "You know what? Cancer, malaria, cough, whooping cough, whatever disease can kill you if it wants to kill you. So just put it cancer just like any other disease." the Cancer Diseases Center. It has changed. It is much better before when I was there, because what I can say, there were no wards there. We used to go to be admitted to UTH, whereby you have to come from there, from B21 to Cancer Hospital. When you are going to see the doctor, maybe around 06, we are already there, and you have to walk all the way from B21 to Cancer Hospital, Diseases Hospital, whereby some of us couldn't manage.
2016, we were pleased that the government supported the Cancer Diseases Hospital to actually open an inpatient facility, which has made offering these cancer care services to patients much easier. We actually admit patients in the hospital as opposed to outpatients.
If the cancer center was not there in Zambia, I couldn't mend it because of financially. I wasn't working, and I'm an orphan. I lost my parents, I think, 17 years ago. But we've been struggling, we've been managing to look after ourselves. But where to start with going abroad, I couldn't financially, especially financially. I couldn't manage that.
There are other infrastructure upgrades at the University Teaching Hospital and the Levi Mwanawasa General Hospital. Construction works at the Levi Mwanawasa General Hospital are underway, and with this development, the facility will be transformed into a university teaching hospital. Reduction of mielie meal prices from 120 kwacha to 67 kwacha. Lending rates from 45% to 27%. Stabilization of the kwacha to the dollar from 14 kwacha to 8.9 kwacha. Inflation rates from 21% to 6%. Load shedding from 12 hours to 0 hours. Bumper harvest in 10 years at 3.8 million tons. The Patriotic Front Manifesto seeks to diversify away from a copper-driven economy to, among other things, agriculture. This sector is key in achieving President Lungu's agenda by creating employment and boosting food production, which is in line with Patriotic Front's pro-poor policies objective of making the agriculture sector the mainstay of Zambia economy. This unfettered commitment is premised on the fact that Zambia's agriculture currently employs more than 70% of the labor force and provides the main source of livelihood for more than 80% of the population living in rural part of the country, while contributing 20% of the national gross domestic product (GDP) of the country.
We want to make agriculture a business. The president is himself taking the lead as commander-in-chief in the Green Revolution. He wants fish farms across the country. He wants the farmers to migrate from not just growing maize to other crops so that agriculture becomes the anchor of the economy.
Zambia's agriculture sector came under serious challenges during the 2016 to 2017 farming season, when armyworms threatened to wipe out crop from the fields across the country. It took President Lungu's resolved leadership to deal with the threat, resulting into a recorded bumper harvest of 3.8 million tons, the highest in 10 years. In this agriculture subsector, the government has initiated a solar-powered hammer mills project in many parts of Zambia. In many districts, the hammer mills have made a difference in the lives of many rural households. In Chagwa, farmers are able to process and sell their maize. There is also an advantage of value addition by having the hammer mill closer to the farmers, and has contributed to stabilizing the maize prices for the rural households.
kutoka liwinga kule twali kubweza manchinga nutajizi manchinga twali kwanga ikochi nate tajiri kochi twali kubweza mawulbala 1 wenda maulo aya ngemu ndipwene wanu kuswo kuno mpaka olokasiso okuya weogayi elipenzi lyagamana libakatwetera jigayo ahwihwawa ba government so olano pondi pandulula wanu pomundi wene wanu ndasiya menda kunganda latini alakwasa ndainka kujigayo sona za kujigayawa kwera muli mwani bona wanu jo kuchika jili kabotu jigayeji nkambuka utejigayo ali mujigaya kabotu wina pesidi kwa jigaya bo kaboteji.
Other government innovations that have been put in place include the enhancement of the Popular Farmer Input Support Program FISP by introducing the e-voucher, which ensured direct support for the individual farmer. There are also plans to expand the FISP to include other crops like rice, millet, sorghum, and others. The PF government under President Lungu is on course with its agriculture diversification program, from maize to prioritizing other segments in the agriculture sector like cotton, cashew nuts, soybeans, cassava, and rice. The government is also committed to the development of aquaculture or fish farming. In this respect, the government has acquired a $50 million loan from Africa Development Bank. President Lungu has given a directive to ensure that 12,000 women and youth in fish trade should be empowered by this fund.
The government is fully committed to the development of the aquaculture sector, and this is being expressed by this fund, which has been obtained from the ADB, of $50 million, which will be under the Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Fund. We believe that this is a major step in boosting or revolutionizing the aquaculture sector in Zambia. I think he is now #1 aquaculturist as a president. He even has his own small aquaculture project, I think at State Lodge. You can't get a better expression of intent and purpose than that from a head of state. But we believe that the government's commitment has also been further expressed by the establishment of a specific dedicated ministry to the development of fisheries. This is the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries.
With the support of aquaculture by the PF and Republican president in his 365 days in office, and the fact that Zambia hosts 45% of the water bodies in the SADC region, there is potential for fish farming to become a major food supply and income earner. Reduction of mini-meal prices from 120 kwacha to 67 kwacha. Lending rates from 45% to 27%. Stabilization of the kwacha to the dollar from 14 kwacha to 8.9 kwacha. Inflation rates from 21% to 6%. Load shedding from 12 hours to 0 hours. Bumper harvest in 10 years at 3.8 million tons. Given the global competitiveness and rapid development in technology, President Lungu, in his parliamentary opening address in 2016, stated that government was reprioritizing education, skills development, as well as science and technology.
Mr. Speaker, I have approved an initiative for transforming the education sector through e-learning by using an innovative education tablet.
The President also directed the Minister responsible for education to revamp the Junior Engineers, Technicians and Scientists JETS Club. Following this directive at Mukoba High School, President Lungu's former school, young scientist Mwilankonkalufu has proved to have great potential in engineering.
My name is Mwilankonkalufu. I'm doing my 11th grade. I've been at Mukoba for the past 4 years. In my free time, I like playing basketball. That's one of my favorite sports. When I'm here at school, I'm mostly interested in science, specifically physics, because I'm much interested in electronics, if I may put it that way. Yes, I'm interested in these things, the computers, the way they were made. Yes, that's what I'm good at. Also, I'm trying to learn something and to try to see if I can make something out of that. I love it. I love the world of electronics, because I can say without electronics, there would be no these computers and stuff like that. So it's at least I want to learn electronics and see if I learn electronics, see how my ideas can apply in society. What makes the Jazz Club successful? It's really helping because I'm able to show people what I'm capable of doing, and I'm able to get more ideas on how I can improve on the same project that I'm working on. So it's very interesting and nice.
President Lungu's passion for the development of the education sector is driven by the need to have a well-educated society and citizens with lifelong and survival skills. Furthermore, the PF government has embarked on the construction of schools and universities such as FTJ University, King Lewanika University, and others across the nation. The government also intends to unbundle the University of Zambia into university colleges for it to run effectively and efficiently. Reduction of milli meal prices from 120 kwacha to 67 kwacha. Lending rates from 45% to 27%. Stabilization of the kwacha to the dollar from 14 kwacha to 8.9 kwacha. Inflation rates from 21% to 6%. Load shedding from 12 hours to 0 hours. Bumper harvest in 10 years at 3.8 million tons. Part 3 of President Lungu's 365 days in office will deal with the growth of Zambia's economy and infrastructure with actual testimonials.
The president is focused on ensuring that he governs justly. He outlines and rolls out programs that are investing in people, building justly, creating economic opportunities for citizens. These are the programs governed, and within all this framework, you see the continuation of infrastructure development. You see a huge investment in social sectors. As I said, social cost transfer is being scaled up.
Under President Edgar Lungu, we have achieved a lot. Not only that, we have continued on the path to ensure that we put infrastructure in place. You have seen how we are working on the roads as a party and government. Last week, President Edgar Lungu commissioned the Lusaka and Dora Road. We have done Mansalwing Road. We have done Mongo Kalabo Road. We have done Livingston Sesheke Road. We are doing a road from Kasama to Omungwe. So in terms of progress under the leadership of President Edgar Lungu, we have done a lot, and we would like to appeal to all Zambians to support President Edgar Lungu